Back in 1862, President Abraham Lincoln, the man who secured Idaho's status as a territory of the United States just a year later, did something else that left a mark on the gem state. He signed the Morrill Act. That wasn't a plan to keep people principled. The Morrill Act was named after Vermont Congressman Justin Smith Morrill, and his act provided grants of land for states to build colleges. Nearly 30 years after that, Idaho took advantage of that and created the University of Idaho. Well, tomorrow will mark the 132nd anniversary of U of I's inception. Yep, the state school is technically older than the state. How's that possible? Well, there's a good reason for that. In tonight's This Day in 208 History. Idaho was still technically a territory that first month of 1889, more than a year away from statehood. So a pretty good time to start a state school before there was even a state. Is that something that happened on a regular basis back then?
No, it's quite unique, and I think it's a reflection of Idaho sectionalism, which is a recurring theme in Idaho politics.
Sectionalism, the concept that because Idaho was so unique in both its layout and local landscape, there was talk to separate it into sections.
Well, it started when you all stole the capital from Lewiston, and it went on from there.
It hasn't gone away, has it?
No, it has not.
At the time, it included a push to make the Panhandle part of Washington. So Willis Sweet, William McConnell, and John Brigham got together.
This is for you all.
Keep it together. These three big men of Moscow figured since they helped make Fred Du Bois Idaho's territorial representative in Congress, well, political compensation was due. The Panhandle and its people would have to be part of Idaho if they could get federal funds to carve out a college there, right? That's when Idaho's territorial legislature went to work and passed Council Bill number 20. And it was signed
January 30th, 1889.
Yeah, for the land, baby. This is the golden nugget. Look at this. Why was there a university put the way the fuck up there? It was a land grab, baby. A land grab, baby.
These three big men of Moscow figured since they helped make Fred Du Bois Idaho's territorial representative in Congress, well, political compensation was due. The Panhandle and its people would have to be part of Idaho if they could get federal funds to carve out a college there, right? That's when Idaho's territorial legislature went to work and passed Council Bill number 20. And it was signed
January 30th, 1889.
By Governor Stevenson.
So it established the University of Idaho on paper, but there really wasn't anything there.
I'm sorry. Where's anybody seen this? The university was a land grab creation. The university was on paper only before it was a frickin' university. And the reason was because they wanted the fucking Panhandle people. And this was supposed to be part of yesterday morning show. I do apologize. We got so much more tonight, y'all. Ain't that some crazy shit? It's been sketch since it was on paper.
Got together to come up with a way to keep it together. These three big men of Moscow figured since they helped make Fred Du Bois Idaho's territorial representative in Congress, well, political compensation was due. The Panhandle and its people would have to be part of Idaho if they could get federal funds to carve out a college there, right? That's when Idaho's territorial legislature went to work and passed Council Bill number 20.
Get to work.
Signed
January 30th, 1889.
By Governor Stevenson.
So it established the University of Idaho on paper, but there really wasn't anything there at all.
Right.
Oh, it's like the stuffed, crumpled up paper inside a Christmas stocking. You guys, they've been doing this since the creation of Idaho. Where in the hell are you going to see this, people? Tell your friends. Tell them. The reason the University of Idaho was created was to keep the Panhandle, and it was just a piece of paper about the University. Here, it's got Larry Bird's autograph on it. I promise. Give me a break.
Right. They still had to locate land, like these 20 acres.
Oh.
And it's on what is always described as this crested hill.
Build buildings, the first being the original admin building.
Right
Find
here.
faculty, which these guys did, and enroll students, which took some time.
So that's why the first students don't come until October of 1892.
And it wasn't a big group by any means.
So
I'm sorry, 1892, and when? I'm sorry, when? 1892.
Federal funds to carve out a college there, right? That's when Idaho's territorial legislature went to work and passed Council Bill number 20. And it was signed
January 30th, 1889.
by Governor Stevenson.
So it established the University of Idaho on paper, but there really wasn't anything there at all.
Right.
3 years. 3 years. It was just a piece of paper to secure the land grab. 3 years, people. I wish I could have given this to you yesterday morning, because, man, it would have been a hell of a topic tonight. 3 years. Oh, I told you we have some good stuff tonight. There's more. Trust me. There's
Right.
more.
They still had to locate land, like these 20 acres.
Yep. And it's on
I
what
love this music.
is always described as this crested hill.
Build buildings, the first being the original admin building. Find faculty, which these guys did, and enroll students, which took some time.
So that's why the first students don't come until October of 1892.
And it wasn't a big group by any means.
So the first graduating class, which is in 1896, had 4 graduates.
2 women and 2 men. Co-ed colleges, not
It's like Chuck Willery. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Hell no. Hell no. A scam from the get-go.
2 women and 2 men. Co-ed colleges,
2 and
not
2.
common at the time, but it was for land-grant universities.
Shout out Chuck
And then
Willery.
3 years later, in 1899, Jenny Hughes became the school's first black graduate.
Which is another element of land grant institutions. They did not discriminate according to race.
To this day, the U of I remains Idaho's only land-grant university. Now, the original admin building burned down in 1906, and it was replaced by the current.
They're the only land grant unit. Shady from the beginning, people. Let me know what you think. It's like the Idaho Statesman interview. When you hear the deal with the University of Phoenix and what they don't know, what they're being promised, what they were up against, you see the guy looking at the camera because he knows he's saying some shit somebody's going to have a problem with. You know that, the way he's looking at the camera. You know he's like, shit, somebody's going to, that's going to piss somebody off. I just said that. Right? Oh, shit. Oh, boy. It's
according to
crazy.
race.
To this day, the U of I remains
A
Idaho's
scam from
only
the beginning.
land-grant university.
The only one.
Now, the original admin building burned down in 1906, and it was replaced by the current one, which was reopened in 1909. 1889 was the
I wonder if that was a sketchy fire. You know what I'm saying? If any of you sleuthers want to look that up, we'll discuss that in the next Idaho 4 show. What happened to the old administrative building that burned down, right?
Only land-grant university.
What happened
Now, the
to it?
original admin building burned down in 1906, and it was replaced by the current Grant University.
And there's your photo of the University of Idaho. Two guys, two girls. You needed that big of a building. Oh boy.
University. Now, the original admin building burned down in 1906 and was replaced by the current one,
No
which was
report
reopened
taken.
in 1909. 1889 was the same year as the Idaho Constitutional Convention. So Sweet, McConnell, and Brigham, well, made sure U of I, the location of it, was included in that original document, which means it would take an amendment to ever move it. Seems the Northerners learned their lesson from that moving of the capital thing, right? However, the university actually did extend.
Whoa, he said it seems the lawmaker. Hold on a minute. Hold on. We need to take some notes here. So the capital was moved. He said it seems they learned their lesson.
Which means it would take an amendment to ever move it. Seems the Northerners learned their lesson from that moving of the capital thing, right?
Whoa! It seems the Northerners learned their lesson on moving the capital thing, right? Bro. And an amendment to move it.
However, the university actually did extend into Ada County in 1910, and they have that water center building on the corner of Broadway and Front in downtown Boise, which has been there since 2004. So it seems what's up actually does come down here eventually, right?
Whoa, that was a good video, y'all. Interesting. They moved. What a dig at the. That was a freaking dig. Let me go back to
way
that.
back in 1862 document, which means it would take an amendment to ever move it. Seems the Northerners learned their lesson from that moving of the capital thing, right?
Oh, shit. Damn! Damn! This is the same dude, and I don't blame him. This is the same dude and the other dude in the beanie that was in front of the driveway. These are the same two people that I'm talking. This guy, it was the anchor behind the desk at the news station, and he was one of them that was getting frustrated in one of those very first clips that I've showed you guys, one of the very first videos. Him and the reporter at the house are getting upset because they're not hearing anything. So listen, I don't know. I'm not from there. I don't know what the hell happened with the Capitol. But let's include that on the next show, you guys. We do Idaho4, because tomorrow morning, late morning, we got OJ25 members only, and then tomorrow night we got Scott Peterson Sunday nights. We're going to be doing that from now on. So Monday will be the next Idaho4 show. So let me know. DM me any of these links right here if you have some information. Let's what the hell is this capital? The Northerners. What the hell? And then it would take an amendment to move the university. What is that about?